Baldwin Street, in Dunedin, New Zealand was recognised as the steepest residential street in the world in 1987 and held the title until 2019, according to Guinness World Records. It is located in the residential suburb of Northeast Valley, 3.5 kilometres, 2.2 miles, northeast of Dunedin's central business district. A short straight street a little under 350 metres, 1,150 feet, long, Baldwin Street runs east from the valley of the Lindsay Creek up the side of Signal Hill towards Opoho, rising from 30 metres 98 feet above sea level at its junction with North Road to 100 metres 330 feet above sea level at the top, an average slope of slightly more than 1:5. Its lower reaches are only moderately steep, and the surface is asphalt, but the upper reaches of this cul-de-sac are far steeper and surfaced in concrete, 200 m or 660 feet long. For ease of maintenance, bitumen, in either chip seal or asphalt, would flow down the slope on a warm day, and for safety in Dunedin's frosty winters. The 161.2 metre long, 529 feet, top section climbs 47.2 metres, 155 feet, vertically, an average gradient of 1:3.41. At its maximum, about 70 metres, 230 feet, from the top, the slope of Baldwin Street is about 1:2.86, 19 degrees or 35%. That is, for every 2.86 metres, 9.4 feet, travelled horizontally, the elevation changes by 1 metre, 3.3 feet. On July 16, 2019, Baldwin Street lost its title of World's Steepest Street to Fort Penllech, in Wales, with Baldwin Street being at a gradient of 35%, and Fort Penllech being at a gradient of 37.45%. The street's steepness was unintentional. As with many other parts of early Dunedin, and indeed New Zealand, streets were laid out in a grade pattern with no consideration for the terrain, usually by planners in London. In the case of Baldwin Street, and much of the Dunedin street plan, the layout was surveyed by Charles Kettle in the mid-19th century. The street is named after William Baldwin, an Otago provincial councillor and newspaper founder, who subdivided the area. For cars it is a cul-de-sac, but Baldwin Street is linked across the top by Buchanan Street, a footpath following an otherwise unformed, i.e. unpaved, road linking it with Calder Avenue and Arnold Street, which are unformed in their upper reaches where Baldwin is steepest. The streets running parallel to Baldwin are all quite steep. Arnold Street, 1:3.6, Dalmeny Street, 1:3.7, and Calder Avenue, 1:5.4. In 1987, Baldwin Street was officially recognized as the world's steepest street by the Guinness Book of Records following a 2-year campaign by the broadcaster Jim Mora. At the time, Baldwin Street topped 2 competing streets in San Francisco, which hitherto had held the title of being the steepest streets in the world. On July 16, 2019, Baldwin Street lost its title of World's Steepest Street to Fort Penllech, with Baldwin Street being at a gradient of 35%, and Fort Penllech being at a gradient of 37.45%. Otago Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Dougal McGowan remarked that it could lead to a drop in visitor numbers to Baldwin Street, but added that it could be a blessing in disguise for some residents fed up with crowds of visitors, trampled gardens, and bad driving decisions on the street. Mayor of Dunedin Dave Cole said that the Dunedin City Council could consider altering the signage wording from the world's steepest street to the Southern Hemisphere's steepest street. The street is the venue for an annual event in Dunedin, the Baldwin Street Gutmuster. Every summer since 1988, this exercise in fitness and balance involves athletes running from the base of the street to the top and back down again. The event attracts several hundred competitors annually, and the race record is 1:56. In March 2001, a 19-year-old University of Otago student was killed when she and another student attempted to travel down the street inside a wheelie bin. The bin collided with a parked trailer, killing her instantly, and causing serious head injuries for the other student. Since 2002, a further charity event has been held annually in July, which involves the rolling of over 30,000 Jaffas, spherical confectionery-coated chocolate confectionery. Each Jaffa is sponsored by one person, with prizes to the winner and funds raised going to charity. This event follows a tradition started in 1998, when 2,000 tennis balls were released in a sponsored event raising money for Habitat for Humanity. On January 2, 2010, Cardrona stuntman Ian Soanes rode down Baldwin Street on a motorcycle on one wheel. On January 26, 2018, 11-year-old Harry Willis raised over $11,000 NZD for the Ronald McDonald House in Christchurch by ascending the street on a pogo stick. The climb took around 10 minutes. Willis's effort has since been commemorated with a plaque at the top of the street. On January 10, 2019, a man rode a Lime scooter down Baldwin St. the same day that the scooters had been introduced to Dunedin, and a week after Dunedin's mayor, Dave Cull, had said he was relying on people's common sense not to take the scooters down the world's steepest street. Baldwin Street's claim to fame has caused some controversy after it emerged that the original entry in the Guinness Book of Records was based on a typographical error, claiming a maximum gradient of 1:1.266, 38 degrees or 79%. This appears to be an error for 1:2.66, which itself is slightly steeper than the currently accepted figure of 1:2.86. Alternatively, the mistake may have been caused by confusion between grade and degrees and percentage grade, mixing up 38% with 38 degrees. Other steep streets include a street in Stilfs in South Tyrol, Italy, has a 40% gradient as indicated by the street sign. This is a residential street in a cul-de-sac. The Côte St in Chicoutimi, Quebec, Canada, with an alleged 33% gradient, about 18 degrees. However, this again appears to be down to confusion between slope angle and percentage grade. The street is signed as having an 18% grade. Canton Avenue, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States, it is officially measured to be a 37% grade. However, that angle of 37% only extends about 6.5 meters, 21 feet, whereas Baldwin Street's steepest part stretches considerably farther. Eldred Street in Los Angeles, United States, one of 3 streets in Los Angeles between 32% and 33.3%, Filbert and 22nd Streets in San Francisco, California, United States, each have 31 to 31.5%, 17 degrees, for 60 to 70 meters, 200 to 230 feet. Several short pieces of San Francisco streets are steeper, including a 9-meter section of Bradford Street paved in 2010 that averages 39 to 40% grade. Waipio Valley Road, 20° 711 and 155° 3536W, on the island of Hawaii. As measured by Stephen Von Worley, the road has long sections that measure 30% with peak gradients much higher, some areas up to 39%. This is a paved public road, but it is not a residential street and is open only to 4-wheel drive vehicles. Many streets in the west of England and in Wales have reported slopes of 33% and higher. The street Ford Penlech in Harlech, Wales has a reported slope of 36.6%, rounded to 40% on the warning sign. Vale Street in Bristol is often also reported as the steepest street in Britain, 21.81 degrees / 40.02%, and hence may have a slope even steeper than 36.6%. However, these roads are mostly shorter roads than those listed above, with far more frequent turns as opposed to the straight path of Baldwin. The issue was rendered moot when Ford Penlech was officially recognized as the world's steepest street by the Guinness Book of Records on July 16, 2019.